Alright, DBS community. Alright, everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be going over the Korrin Goku deck, as I'm calling it Korrin Ku. We're going to term that name. I think this deck is incredibly cool. Definitely my favorite non-black leader that's come out in this set. It is very interesting just how this entire archetype sort of comes together. We're going to go over it together. Hopefully you guys think the same way. If you guys do like this deck, smash the like button, like and subscribe, notification button, blah, 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 all that fun marketing stuff there. So this deck is a coined Korrin Ku, as I said before. So we're Goku on this side, we're Korrin on the other side as well, which is very cool. Korrin gets his first I think his first introduction into the card game. That's a non-skillless card. I think it's a skillless card. I might be wrong. But definitely the first leader that Korrin's going to be on. So activate main. Look up to the top 5 cards of your deck. Add up to 1 Goku Childhood or Earthling, both that cost 4 or less. In yellow, add them to your hand. Then you awaken at 6 life, which is a very interesting thing. This is very if you guys played the old Kidku leader, you had to be at 6 life as well. When your life's at 6 or less, and you have a yellow skillless battle card in your drop, draw 2 cards. Then your original skillless battle cards cannot gain skills for the game. So you can't give them double strike, you can't give them crit. So just don't include those in the deck. You can't do those effects. So that's a big thing. I've seen a lot of deck I do a lot of just like looking over what people make on DBS Tech Planet, and I've noticed a lot of people are including like the Shinron Unison that can give a skillless double strike, including like the Pan card that can give something crit. Like, you can't do any of that stuff, so don't include that in your deck. On this side we have Son Goku and Korrin, and permanent. During your opponent's turn, you reduce the skill cost of the 4-drop of the 4-star ball that you have in your deck by 1. You reduce the activate main in battle by 1 yellow in your hand. Permanent, you can use skillless, original skillless battle cards in rest mode and combos, which is very powerful. And then auto, when you play a yellow original skillless battle card, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards or unisons and negate its skills for the turn. Additionally, if it's your turn, you draw a card, right? So, I think this deck is incredible. We're going to be doing a lot of... I might end up doing some play videos with this deck, because I might end up buying some of the yellow stuff just so I can play this deck. So we have the Grandpa Gohan, not the Grandpa Gohan, the Grandpa's Heirloom. It's Grandpa's ball, though. The 4-star ball. So permanent, this card gains Dragon Ball in all areas. What that means for people who maybe have never played a Dragon Ball deck, you can run up to 7 of these in your deck. Activate main or battle. Limit 1 for 1 yellow. If your leader is a non-Grade Ape Son Goku Childhood or Shinron leader, play up to 1 yellow skillless battle card with energy cost less than or equal to the energy from less than or equal to your current energy from your deck or your drop. If you look through your deck, shuffle your deck. So this can be used on your awakened side. This costs 0. On your non-awakened side, this costs 1 yellow. So if you have 1 energy, you can play 1 drop skillless. If you have 2, you can play a 2. It's go on and so forth from there. Activate main. If you discard 1 yellow skills, if you discard 1 of your skillless battle cards from your hand, you draw 2, and then you can't send cards from your drop to your warp for the game. So you can't send them, which is kind of funny. It essentially counters the Shroom and Salsa deck, which forces your opponent to put stuff in the warp. You can't run Overwhelm, things like that. All right, so off of this, you definitely have some targets. These are the 3 skillless battle cards, the 1, the 2, and the 3 that actually come in the set. I think it's Upa, Bora, and then Mercenary Tau. So you can actually run these. These are all searchable off of the front side of the leader as well. They're all Earthlings. So these are 3 that you can play. We do play some of these. We kind of substitute some other stuff later on. I'll show you in the deck video. So then we have the 2 4-drops. You have Son Goku Days of Adventure and then Mercenary Talent and Assassin to Overcome. So these both cost 1. If you have a 2 and then a skills battle card that costs 2 or more in play, when they both are played, you can add up to 1 card from your life to your hand. Then for the Goku, if you have 4 or more Dragon Balls in your drop, this card gains dual attack. Once card's played, add up to 1 Dragon Ball from your deck to your hand. So this card can be a 15k dual attacker for 1 energy. That's pretty cool. Mercenary Tau. gets to add 1 Dragon Ball from your drop to your hand, and then you get to KO one of your opponent's skillless battle cards. So you can blank one of your opponent's cards and then play this to kill it. That's very, very cool. Yeah, I think Mercenary Tau is probably the better one out of the two. The Goku's interesting. Being a 15k dual attacker, it's, I don't know, it's kind of mid. You know what I mean? Like you're drawing a card and then you have a 15k dual attacker. Yeah, is what it is. It's not the greatest card you can run for this this deck, but it does help you kind of self-awaken, which is good. Then we have 2 cards that revolve around the Bora card. So we have Upa. When you play this card, if your leader is this leader, you get to send 1 Bora from your deck to your warp, and then shuffle at the start of your next turn. Play this card. Play that card in rest mode. Very interesting. We have the Shinron. If your leader is both yellow Goku and Korrin, and you have 3 more energy when you play a yellow Appa from your hand. So when you play this card from your hand, or the skillless, I guess, you get to play this card also from your hand. It's a 25k unique barrier. Activate main, switch this card to rest mode, play up to 1 Bora from your drop. So this card essentially allows you to draw once per turn, because you're able to play the skillless from your drop, and then your leader will trigger, which will draw a card, and then you'll blank another card. So this card is decent for allowing you to draw. However, it is you can only play it once you're awoken and pass 3 energy, which is not not awful. It is a free play as well. It's a barrier. It's 25k. This is a decent card. I think you might play it in some builds. Personally, it's not amazing. It's almost like I want to say a trap card, but it's like, hey, you can play this card, you can draw once per turn, and it is cool. But I think there's some better options you can actually run in the deck, so we'll show you that again once we get to that point. Then we have Korrin and the Sacred Water. So Korrin, this Korrin art's gonna look really cool full art. I'm honestly really excited for that. So you play this. If your leader is a yellow Korrin, activate battle, and you get to add up to 1 yellow skills from your drop to your hand. And then if your life's at 4 or less, when this card's played, choose up to one of your leaders, and he gets 5k for the turn. There's a blocker that also beans you for a turn, which is pretty funny since Korrin sensu beans, right? So it's a very, very cool card. I think this is definitely a need in the deck. We have Sacred Water, negate the attack auto when one of this card's skills activates. Add up to 1 skills battle card from your deck to your hand. So this is a negate that essentially draws you a card, limit 1. So that is pretty cool. And activate battle, choose up to one of your non-Grade Ape Son Goku cards, and it gets 15k for the battle. So this is again another cool card, being able to be a 1 energy 15k combo that also grabs you a skills from the deck. So this is a very cool card. I think this might be a permanent addition to the main deck. This also might be a card that you side. It just kind of depends on deck space, I feel like. Then we have the 2 SRs that were printed for this deck. So the Sun Gohan actually was revealed with the other yellow deck, which we'll go over in the next video. But I felt like it actually works in this deck as well, so you're going to play it. So we have Son Goku Duel with an Assassin. This is a 25k dual attacker. You play it for 2 if you have an original skills battle card that costs 3 in play. So you have to have a 3-cost skills in play. Once card played, add to 1 Grandpa's Heirloom, the 4-drop from your drop to your hand, the 4-star ball from your hand, from your drop to your hand. Then choose up to a total of 2 of your opponent's battle cards or unisons, negating and ignoring barriers, switch in the rest mode, then negate their skills with the turn. So you can play this against just a unison and a battle card, blank their skills, and switch in the rest mode. Incredible effect. Incredible effect. And now it's a 25k dual attacker. This card is crazy for this deck. And honestly, this is just a really good... Now, thankfully, you have to have a skillless battle card that costs 3 in play to even play this card, so it's not as generic as it could be in some other decks, like Golden Frieza and things like that, because you're not playing 3-drop skillless. But if you find a deck where you can play a skillless in it other than this card is just generically amazing. Then we have the Son Gohan True Self Revealed. It's a 10k blocker. Counterattack if your leader is yellow and you have 4 life or less, and negate the attack and play this card. Permanent if you have a card with energy cost of 4 or more and Son Goku in its character name, which this card would count for that. You can activate its counter skill from your hand for free. Then if it's your opponent's turn when this card is played, choose one of your battle cards with Son Goku in its character name and switch it to active mode. You can't activate counter skills for the turn. So So this is a very interesting, almost like a one of the free negates that came out during set 10. Kind of a tribute to that almost, where you can't activate counterattack for the turn. This is kind of supposed to be sort of like a last-ditch effort negate, but then also being able to restand a Goku. So it's any Goku card. So that is something to keep in mind. So it counts for this 5-drop, also counts for a bunch of other Goku cards. Then we have the Z extra card. This deck has so much support. So we have Goku's Kamehameha, 1-drop, 1 extra Z energy. When this card is placed in the battle area, choose all your battle cards with Son Goku in its character name, in their character name, and then those cards get 5k for the turn. So any card that is a Son Goku. So it could be any Goku card with it in its character name. Remove this card from the game. Choose it to one of your opponent's skillless battle cards and KO it at the end of the turn. So the auto here is weird because then you have the activate battle, remove this card from the game. So you can just remove it from the game, and that effect will trigger, I believe. So at the end of the turn, you would remove it, essentially. Or activate battle, where you remove this card from the game. Choose up to one of your cards with Son Goku in its character name, and it gets 10k power and crit for the battle. Another just incredible ability here, which we're definitely going to utilize in this deck. Then we have the last two cards I'm going to go over, which is going to be the Z battle cards. So we have Korrin and Mercenary Tau. Both cost 2, however, one can be reduced. So we have Korrin, Deflect unique if your leader is a yellow Korrin, and you have a yellow skillless battle card and original skillless battle card in play. This card and yellow non-Great Ape Son Goku character card with energy cost of 5 or more get 10k power. So that's the dual attacker we already showed off. That card gets 10k power, as long as this card's on the board. Auto, if your leader is a yellow Korrin and your opponent has 3 or more energy, when this card is played, play up to 1 yellow non-Great Ape Son Goku childhood card with an energy cost of 5 from your hand. So you get to play out the Duel with an Assassin for free off of this card. So you get to play this card and that card. That card effects, I believe, will trigger. Yep, so they will trigger the effects. So then you'll draw the extra ball, and then you'll blank 2 cards and switch from the rest mode. Then this card gets 10k, so this card becomes a 20k body, and then the Goku becomes a 35k body. It's pretty powerful. We have the Mercenary Tau. If your leader is a yellow non-Great Ape Son Goku childhood, and you have a yellow skillless battle card that costs 2 or more in play, an original skillless battle card, you reduce the energy cost of this card and the Z cost by 1, so it becomes a 1 cost and a 1 Z energy. Auto, if you place 2 cards from your hand at the bottom of your deck, KO one of your yellow Bora cards when this card is played, add up to a total of 3 Dragon Ball cards from your deck or your drop. If you look through your deck, you shuffle. So you can bottom deck 2 cards to grab 3 balls, and you kill the skills card you played off the 1-drop Appa or off the Shinron. This is cool. I would say you would use this if you need to sift out the rest of your Dragon Balls. It's also just another way of looking through your deck, which is a very powerful skill that the Appa does. Or Upa, whatever his name is, so that way you can actually search through your deck and just see what's in there, and you also can see how many Dragon Balls you have in your deck as versus, with the cards you're going to have in your life. So, we're going to go into the deck building portion of this video. I think this deck is incredibly fun. Hopefully you guys think the same way. As always, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Let's see what we come up with, though, in the deck building portion of this video. Alright guys, so we have the deck breakdown portion of the video, so we're going to run through this deck and show you guys what I came up with. 7 balls, I think this is probably just a must-have. You have to run 7 of this card. It cycles you almost your entire deck, and it's your way of being able to blank cards on your opponent's turn and on your turn, so you're going to want to run this card as a 7 of. 3 Appas and then 3 Boras, so these cards just kind of go hand in hand, being able to play the Bora at the end of the turn, which then you can use your your Mercenary Tau from the Z deck to pop it to get more Dragon Balls. It's very, very good. 3 of the Son Goku, so we ran 3 of this instead of the Mercenary Tiles, just because this card can also gain 5k off of the Z extra card since it has Son Goku in its name, and also it's just a better looking skills card. 4 I keep saying that. 4 Mercenary Tiles. I don't run the Goku in this deck just for space purposes. I think this is the better one anyways, grabbing a Dragon Ball from the drop and then being able to pop a skillless card, which we can create skillless cards off of the Son Goku here and off of the leader. So being able to just have 2 different ways of making skillless cards is pretty powerful. This card can ignore barrier to make them, which is very, very good. And then this pops as any battle card that's skillless. 2 Korrins. Since we have to be at 4 life and it is a limit 1, we don't need to stock up on this card too much. Just need to make sure we have 1 in our hand after we hit turn 4, or 4 energy I should say, probably turn 4. so that way we can bean our leader and then also get back a skillless. 2 Master Roshis. This is actually a really cool tech. This allows you to awaken yourself. It is an Earthling, so it is searchable off of the front side. So you can play it, take a life, and then you also can tap 1 to search your deck for a Moon-Destroying Kamehameha, and then also take a life again, too. So probably not the best way of doing it, because we're not Golden Frieza, so you can't restand all that energy. But being able to take your life from 7 to 6 on your turn, being able to play this, or being able to play this, going from 8 to 6, you can do that on turn 2 as well. 3 Krillin super combos, should be kind of a hint of what secret rare we are running in this deck. 3 of the Son Gohan negates. This card actually procs off of a few different cards in the deck, but the main one being the 5-drop here. 4 Mecha Frieza, since we are running 7 extra cards here, including some other extra cards as well, like Pos. This card's going to be live probably turn 2. As for another defensive card, we do run Steadfast Assistant. So this card is probably live after turn 2, but being able to tap any battle card that doesn't have Deflect and drawing a card is, I think, a very cool tool to have. Also, this card can technically gain 5k off of the Z extra card as well, so that's pretty cool. 2 Frieza Army Reinforcements, being able to take us down from 5 to 4 safely, and then we can also use Korrin and super combos to save ourselves if our opponent's trying to aggro us down. 3 Black Kamehamehas, again, more extra cards. I think this is kind of pivotal for this deck. This is a pretty defensive-minded deck. We want to be able to slam the Goku on our opponent's turn and then have extra defense up, so like Pos, Black Kamehameha, the ball. You can really get creative with stuff here. 1 Secret Rare, of course, Gohan Piccolo. I think this is probably just the best for the deck. Unless for whatever reason, by the time this video comes out, they release a yellow Secret Rare that's going to be better. They might, who knows. As of right now, they haven't. So we might end up seeing a better replacement for this, but as of right now, it's going to be Son Gohan and Piccolo. 3 Matados. So this card is also very cool, because this is also searchable in this deck. Because it is an Earthling, so we can actually search this card out. So it's very good for this current format. Might be good for more formats as we go on. Very, very powerful card here. We have 2 Super Saiyan 3 Son Gokus, Universe at Stake. Another good card. So this card has a lot of utility, I think, in this next coming format with Z extra cards. So you can play for 2 if your leader is a yellow Z leader, which we don't have, or you have a yellow Z battle card in play, which we do play those. Your opponent has 3 more energy. You play this card from your hand. If you have a yellow extra, if a yellow extra is in your battle area, draw 1. So this also means for the Z extra card. So you actually can have the Z extra card in play, and then this card will draw you a card. This card also can gain 5k off of the Z extra card, and can gain crit and 10k off of the Z extra card as well, because it is a Son Goku in its character name. If all of your cards are in rest mode, so this card active mode. This is just a good beat stick later on in the game. Combinations of being able to go do this and the 5-drop and your Piccolo on the same turn, that's a lot of swings. And if you play the Z extra card first, sorry, if you play the 8-drop first and then play the Z extra card afterwards, this card will become a 35k. This card will be a 30k, and they're both swinging multiple times, plus your Gohan Piccolo. It's a lot of damage to deal with. Last card in the deck is going to be the Shinron. So we run 2, just so when we do play Upa, we have the ability of recycling our Bora, so that way we don't always have to rely on the 4-star ball to be able to draw. Now the Z deck, unfortunately, there are some unfortunate restrictions. You can't actually play like the Z leader, which would have been really cool, since you can't actually warp your cards. So that kind of takes out one of the best Z leader or the Z deck possibilities for this deck. So because of that, we are running 2 of the extra cards, just because I feel like it's good to just stack this card and have it available, so that way you can use it, multiple turns. 1 of the Korrin and 2 of the Mercenary Towels. Korrin is the worst out of the 2, just because it's gonna come down. You can't play multiple of them, but then it plays out the 5-drop, which is cool. I think that's, you have to have skills in play. I might end up being wrong. You might end up playing 2 of the Korrins, but as of right now, I found that 1 of the Korrin's probably fine. Mercenary Towel, I think, is a little bit better. Being able to make it a 1-drop battle card that will pop your Bora that you played from the drop off the Upa, which will then grab you 3 balls. You can then awaken, because you're probably going to have the requirement with the skills in the drop, and then this draws you 3. Basically, it's a cycle. It's a +1. It's a hard +1, but it's going to cycle two cards into your deck and then you can just grab 3 balls, so you can put all the skills cards back into your deck. 1 Oolong, since we play Go on Piccolo, the 40 drop battle card. This can also gain the power if the card is boosted for the turn, so you can also play this as well, which can make this a 35k battle card swing if you're taking either the Universe at Stake or Duel with an Assassin. And then we have 1 of the Sun Gohan Unpredictable Blow. So this is actually a card that was announced with the Baba deck, but it's a 25k deflect barrier dual attack. If you have a 5 cost or more childhood Goku in play, reduce cost in your Z deck by 1, so it becomes a 2-drop 2Z energy. When this card is played, choose up to 1 of your yellow non-Great Ape Sun Goku childhood cards, and it gains dual attack for the turn. So you can't give the other 5-drop dual attack already because it already has dual attack. But it's just a 2-drop attacker that you can have. You can't give, I think it's really just that card that you can give dual attack to. So you can probably, like realistically, like if we go back to edit deck here, you can probably just include the Vegeta or the other Goku. The other Goku might not be a bad idea. Where's that? So you can include this if you want. You can include Gamma. Gamma's a good one as well. You can include the Evolved Defender here. I think the one I was talking about is this Goku. You can probably just add this guy in instead, in its place, instead of the Grandpa Gohan. So it just kind of depends on which one you want to run. But this is the deck. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I think this list is pretty solid to start off with, and then I'm sure there are so many little techs that I've found with this deck that could potentially be really interesting depending on what the meta is. You have a lot of World Tournament and Earthling cards at your disposal. Unfortunately, you're not a World Tournament leader, which I think they missed the ball on that one. But whatever, it is still a very cool deck, very fun deck. Will this deck be meta relevant? We'll see once the next format comes out. But this deck does a lot of cool things. Being able to blank cards in the combo step, nuts on both turns. So hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Let me know if you guys find some cool techs that you'd be interested in sharing with everybody here. Just put them down in the comments below. But let me know if you guys are excited about this leader and the set as a whole. So thank you guys for the support. As always, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.